Pam Bondi issues warning to businesses after DOJ issues sues over coffee shop menu. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a warning to American business after... Oh, yeah, I saw this earlier. This is the guys that made the sweet Sinwar, right? In honor and tribute to the leader of Hamas, Bondi said on Fox News on Wednesday, you can't do that. First of all, you literally can, okay? The idea that you can't do that is wrong, okay? You literally can do that, okay? Should you? I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. But if the conversation is, can you do that? The answer is 100% fuck yes. Okay? That quite literally is a thing you can do in America. The notion, there are Republican-backed Supreme Court initiatives that directly protect the right to do just that. It is so funny. They also had iced intifada. Yeah, I saw. I know only because fucking Dylan Saba went there, I think, and he was canceled subsequently for purchasing iced tea intifada or a sweet Sinwar, one of those two. I remember stop anti-Semitism and stuff, like yelling at Dylan, being like, "Oh, I can't believe you're fucking anti-Semite," whatever. It was sweet Sinwar, right? Yeah, that's what he got. He got a sweet Sinwar. Took a photo with it. Anyway, dude, Republicans collectively deciding that every single thing that they supposedly care about is actually completely irrelevant, cast it aside, like free speech. What's next, dude? Are they gonna... I feel like if there were Muslim advocacy groups that armed themselves in the same way that like the Black Panthers did, Republicans would be like, no more guns out in public. Okay, excuse me, we need gun control and we need it now. We need gun control and we need it right now. We need it yesterday. These fucking libtards don't want gun control. I mean, that is ironic because Ronald Reagan literally did this in the state of California when he was the governor, when the Black Panther Party marched to the state capitol, exercising their Second Amendment rights to openly have arms. And that famously was an instance where both the NRA and also Ronald Reagan immediately implemented gun control. One with sweet Sinwar in honor. You can't do that. Also, we sue them. We're going to stop this from happening anywhere in the country. If you're doing this, we're coming after you. Attorney Glenn Ketton, representing the Jerusalem Coffee House, told Newsweek they rejected the DOJ's allegations. Neither the owner nor staff are anti-Semitic, and they would not tolerate anti-Semitism in their cafe. The lawsuit comes amid the Trump administration's efforts to tackle anti-Semitism across the country. The DOJ argues that the Civil Rights Act may have been violated if the shop owners refused service based on customers' Jewish identities. Okay, if customers were refused service for being Jewish, that is a violation. And the federal government has every right, if not the responsibility, for the record. If they do that, then this is appropriate. Now, it's ironic coming from the Republican Party. Make no mistake, ironic coming from the Republican Party, considering, like I said, they have actively made this a major culture war issue as far as like, you can't force a baker to bake a gay cake or whatever the fuck. Okay, they're the anti-gay cake party. Okay, having said that, from my own moral consideration, I consider this unjustifiable, and and if they have done that, then that is completely inappropriate, and they do deserve to be sued. For the record, having said that, however, this could be a very damaging precedent if the DOJ were to consider defending Israel to be a protected identity. Okay? On top of concerns about menu items, the lawsuit filed Monday also alleges that the coffee shop denied services to customers wearing the Star of David, something the owner strongly denies. According to the criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of California, one customer visited the coffee shop while scoping out a nearby venue for a workplace event. He was wearing a baseball cap with the Hebrew words, okay, dude, am Israeli Chai. The people of Israel live. A man sitting outside the shop allegedly asked if he was a Jew and a Zionist before accusing the customer of being complicit in Israel's actions following the October 7 attack, then left. Oh my Lord. Dude, this literally happened in Australia. Why does this happen so much? Dudes will straight up be wearing the fucking Dudes will shut up, be wearing the IDF dog tag, walk into a fucking very clearly antagonistic institution, specifically to be like, oh, I am being victimized. You are not serving me because I love Israel. When the customer returned to the event, the man was working behind the counter. He told the customer that he is not welcome in the shop, with the owner, Fatih Abdurrahim Harara, then allegedly joining, yelling Jew and Zionist at him in the street. It's fucked up. On another occasion, another Jewish customer allegedly told Harara to leave his 5-year-old son after... What? After being asked if he was a Zionist. Okay, this dude's a little bit wild, okay? The lawsuit also alleges that for the first anniversary of the Hamas attacks, the coffee shop introduced 2 new menu items, iced Intifada, in appearing to reference Intifada, and sweet Sinwar, in apparent reference to the former leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar. Harara denies the allegations against him in the coffee shop, with his attorney telling Newsweek that the lawsuit was a political stunt. Attorney Glenn Keaton, in his statement to Newsweek, this lawsuit is part of the Trump administration's efforts to silence voices for Palestinian human rights by falsely branding those voices anti-Semitic. The customer who was asked to leave harassed the customers. He has a history of inciting conflict, and this is just another staged incident for him to bring attention to himself. The video of that not happening. Wait, oh, is this it? Is this the incident?
This gentleman asked me to leave because of my hat.
You're being this is a violent hat, and you need to leave.
My hat is
it's violent. It's violent.
I'm
you need
sorry.
to leave.
This man cannot ask me to leave because
yeah,
of
I can. It's my business, bro.
No, he can't.
It's my business.
You can't refuse
I can.
someone.
I can. Yes, I can.
You can't refuse service for a protected class, and he's asking me to leave because of a Magen David Dome, which is a Magen David, which is a Jewish star. He can't ask me to leave because of my religion. He can't
I'm not
ask me
asking you to leave because of that.
Yes, you are. You said,
are you a Zionist?
You said.
Are you a Zionist?
I don't have to identify
leave.
myself
then
by
get
my
out.
belief.
Bro, get out.
Please back away from me.
Get out.
Yes, he does if he's asking me to leave based on a protected class. Are you really, like, I'm sitting here quiet. We were sitting here quietly playing, I don't, you're wrong, call the police. I don't, they're wrong, call the police. You're going to have a lawsuit. I don't, you're wrong, call the police.
Yeah.
This is from October 29, 2024.
Yeah, I'll call the cops on you, bro.
Do it.
Even though it's against my ethos, I'm gonna call the cops.
Do
on
it,
you
call
right
the
now.
cops, and you can get an education today about your...
Jonathan Hirsch, wearing the Star of David hat, kicked out of Jerusalem Coffee House in North Oakland by owner. Oakland Police, California, investigating whether this was a hate crime. Update, saying he was targeted like the man wearing a Star of David hat. Michael Radis, who is also Jewish, sues Jerusalem Coffee House owner via ADL Benesh Law, saying he was harassed, followed, and refused service on worry somebody may get here someday. Radis tells me. Update, Jonathan Hirsch is also suing. Justice Department sues owners of Jerusalem Coffee House in Oakland, saying 2 Jewish customers of Star David has were discriminated against and ordered to leave. Cafe also had a drink named after Intifada and inverted pink triangles on the wall. Suit says. The owner seems a little bit unhinged. I mean, at first I thought he was being unhinged. I think like you have to be more careful in this situation. Like you just can't come across as like even leaning into agitators. Like this person, if you think this person went into the coffee shop specifically to be like, oh, I just wanted coffee, and I can't believe that you're not serving me coffee for being Jewish. Like if you think that that's what's going on, you're silly. Okay, that's not what's going on here. And it's identical to the same thing that happened. It's identical to the same thing that happened in Australia. So no, I'm not going to sit here and fucking act like this is a totally fucking out of nowhere instance of maybe he thought it was Jewish because it was called Jerusalem. I don't know, probably just agitating. Come on, dude. The fucking coffee shop. He said the coffee shop has iced Intifada and sweet Sinwar. I'm pretty sure he knew the coffee shop was not a Jewish coffee shop. No, he's a fucking agitator. And this is literally not only is it is he an agitator, everyone will of course use this because it's a perfect opportunity to present it as like Jews are being harassed. Jewish people are being severe victims to like anti-Semitic crimes, and many people that want to chime in, many people that want to like find another instance of this will use this as an opportunity and will act as though they're oblivious to the other to the nuances of the situation. I just think we can't have it both ways. I don't want people with kafiyas getting kicked out either. I know, except there is no protection for There is no protection of any sort for Muslims. That is the reality. And this is deliberately an attempt to, I think, consider defense of Israel as a key tenet of Judaism, so that anyone that actually criticizes Israel is now like, this is a jerry rigging of the laws that exist. Because they can't do it through the legislative body, they're trying to work their way from the court system to create a new precedent, I think, if that makes sense. Yeah, you are allowed to get kicked out for political views. We have to embrace and front that view. Letting them conflate that with religious views is the things we need to clarify is not occurring. Exactly. What is this? I just mentioned Zionism in a comment and it got auto-mounted. Yes, because it is auto-mounted. Because it is, Twitch enforces a new restriction. I should be able to wear my Star of David necklace without being asked if I'm a Zionist, but I blame Israel for that, not misguided people whose family is being killed and having Stars of David drawn on their mass graves. Yeah. But I don't think that was like I don't think that this was a totally innocent party walking into a coffee shop and being like, oh my God, I'm being harassed. They figured out I'm Jewish and they're kicking me out, even though that is what everyone will argue. Everyone will cynically argue this as it makes its way through the fucking Department of Justice to set a horrifying precedent. I hope that there is at least like some reasonable judges remaining that end up getting their hands on this and recognize the dangerous precedent it might set and throw it out. Anyway. Did that guy have a history of agitating? No. The guy that had a history of agitating was the dude that did this in Australia. He did it like a couple different times, but luckily he looks like Bizarro Felix. No, I don't think he looks like Felix. Felix is way more handsome. If it wasn't that specific guy and it wasn't an instigator, should the same happen to someone wearing a small Star of David necklace who genuinely wants a coffee? Fuck no. I don't think so at all. I don't even think that like if you're wearing... Look... I don't even think that you should be asked if you're a fucking Zionist or not, even if you are wearing a Star of David. This is not a calculation that I make in my day-to-day. Of course, one could even say that I don't want to make that calculation considering where I live, because it would just not be fun for me to make said calculations. But I don't, regardless. It's not something that it's not something that I care about. Bitch ass take us on. It's not. I don't think it's appropriate regardless. But this is wearing a Star of David necklace or whatever. It's a person that clearly went there to agitate.